Morning. All right, so we are going to explain how to adapt your claim to the market. So if you're a high ticket business owner and you're selling, let's say, a $10,000 offer, or maybe you're selling a $3,000 course, right? All of those things are high ticket. They're extremely valuable if you're putting that ticket price on it. So in order to sell them at that high of a ticket price, you need to have a really good claim. Okay. So before we would think about this as, what's the headline on your offer, or what's the, kind of that tagline that makes people buy, or what's the promise that you're giving them. Lately, if you've been looking on the ad platforms and you've been getting hit with ads, it's pretty much all the same crap. It's just like, do this or you don't pay. Do this or you don't pay. Do this or you don't pay, right? It's a little boring because you're just seeing the same thing over and over again. So at a certain point it gets so saturated that you don't really know what to believe, or you don't know what's legit. Most of it is a little bit shady, right? So the claim is really important because you want to create a claim that really cuts through the noise. All right. So unfortunately, you don't get to decide what will work and what will work. The market does, and the best entrepreneurs are just not tied to their marketing, product claim, or branding. All right. They're pretty adaptable. So you'll be forced to change and adapt to the market, just like what I'm talking about. If you're seeing the same thing over and over again, you probably got to be willing to change a little bit. All right. So how do you do this? You need to actively update the claim as you close your first few sales. Or if you've been in business selling the same offer for a long time, go look back through your sales calls, understand what the market's actually looking for, because chances are you probably haven't done that yet. Or if you have, you haven't been paying attention in terms of the claim. So if you're booking only a few meetings with your current claim, get feedback from taking those first few sales calls. What is working? What is resonating with the customer? What do they need? All right. So if you close your first sale with a new claim, you need to adapt the claim even more to exactly what the first customer loved about it. Get hyper targeted and adapt the claim to the market. All right. So let's go through an example of this. And I'm just going to do this really quickly, but it's going to be very valuable. All right. So we're going to take an example in the SaaS space. All right. So if you're a software as a service company with a cybersecurity solution, okay. So let's say that your solution is for cybersecurity professionals or for execs. Right. So you start by throwing up a claim on the ad platforms, or in your sales letter, or in your ad, or on a sales call. And you say, this is for Fortune or for Inc. 5000 CTOs. We guarantee to improve your cyber risk score in 30 days, or you don't pay. Right. So you can use this claim, but do you see how this is so different from what's out there, right? Because you're using it in a SaaS market, right? If you're using it in the same market over and over again, it's not going to work. But here I'm taking what's working in the consulting, the coaching space, and I'm applying it to SaaS, right? Because people in the SaaS space are not going to be seeing this quite as much because it's not as saturated. Okay, so that's where it's acceptable. But after booking a few sales calls and closing one customer for 10K, let's say that you realize these CTOs don't really care that much about their cyber risk score. It's a nice bonus, but they care more about building a cybersecurity team. And their biggest problem is actually finding good security engineers. Okay, but then you have a problem because your SaaS solution is about cyber risk, right? So you're finding out that you just built a product that people don't, they care about it, but it's not really their biggest problem. So what do? Well, you don't have to go change your SaaS product as a whole quite yet. Eventually you could, but you can just adapt the claim to what the market wants. All right. So you want to change your claim to something like, for Inc. 5000 CTOs, how to install a new cybersecurity software that protects your organization and makes it easy to hire top software or security engineers in the next 90 days. See how I just tied the product to the actual desire that they want. And I figured that out through taking calls with them. Okay, so then you can see how your product can be the exact same while changing your claim. All of a sudden, you're hitting on the pain point all these CTOs have. Same software, yet dozens of meetings start to flood on your calendar. All right, so after chatting with more CTOs, maybe you close a few more $10,000 sales, you realize they want software that improves their cybersecurity engineering workflow. So it's not just about the cyber risk score, and it's not that they care that much about it. Maybe they don't even care about the hiring of the team. It's more that they want to plug anyone into a really nice workflow. Okay, so again, you go back to your claim and you adapt it. And you change it to, for Inc. 5000 CTOs, how to install a new cybersecurity software that protects your organization, improves the workflow, and makes it easy to hire top security engineers in the next 90 days. All right, it's getting a little wordy, right? So there starts to be a drop in meetings booked now, but maybe you didn't realize this. Maybe you just threw it up. And then you start to wonder, did you make the wrong decision in changing the claim? Well, maybe. Or maybe you need to smooth out the claim so it's more readable. Okay, so then you adapt it again. You say, for Inc. 5000 CTOs, how to improve cybersecurity workflow and effortlessly hire top security engineers using this new software, all in 90 days. All right, so it's very specific, and that makes sense. And usually after a few iterations like this, you're going to get meetings flooding in and you're going to start closing sales more consistently. All right, so most founders will just be they'll be scared to adapt the claim and their marketing because it disconnects from the product. But that's the wrong way to think about it. You are simply giving the market what they want in order to get on the phone with you. Or if they are checking out on a site, give them what's necessary to collect their cash and their credit card info. You'll begin to notice what your market actually wants. And to your surprise, it might not be exactly what your product is. But luckily, you can adapt your product as well. All right. So if your claim is not working no matter what you try, you may have to face reality that there is little to no product market fit. Sit up straight and adapt your product too. You don't have to complain about it. You just need to adapt the product. And that's what all these great founders are doing. All right. So if you do this process, you'll be able to basically use your marketing to create the perfect offer. All right. And that's where people have it wrong sometimes, is where they'll drop like $500,000 developing a product without doing any like market research. So then you're just wasting a lot of money. And I've worked with a lot of startups that have done this wrong, and it's hard to pull them out of it, right? Because if you dropped like $300,000 on a product, you're so tied to it that you're not willing to adjust. And then no amount of marketing is really going to help you. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. You start with the claim and you kind of tweak your new offer around that. Or if it's an old offer, you can keep tweaking it based on the marketing and your copywriting. Okay, so I hope that helps. And share this if you thought it was useful. If you've got someone who runs a high ticket business, share this with them. And thanks for watching.